Sean John Combs, or P. Daddy, or Diddy Combs, famous Harlem-born rapper and record producer on trial for trafficking and racketeering. His ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura testified about years of alleged physical and being forced to participate in marathon encounters involving drugs and directed by Diddy Combs and known as freak-offs.
I know there's another shoe that's about to drop very soon, so waiting on that one before we say anything else, because I know it's coming. I don't know who people thought we were yelling at. The justice is rigged. There's double side to so much. We are about to be in contact with yet another 2 police departments in regards to some stuff going on.
Gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room.
The once untouchable image of Sean Diddy Combs is crumbling before our eyes. For decades, he was seen as one of the most powerful figures in music and business, moving through the industry with confidence and control. But the recent trial, which ended in 2 guilty verdicts, has left cracks in that image. Now Allie Carter has stepped forward with what she claims is new, explosive evidence that could intensify Diddy's legal troubles and further damage his reputation. This is not just another headline. It is a development that could change the entire trajectory of his future. Sean Diddy Combs has faced controversies before, but what is happening now feels different. In the past, accusations and rumors seemed to bounce off him. His reputation, his influence, and his wealth acted like a shield. He could smile on red carpets, drop a new project, and the public would eventually move on. But today, that shield has cracks.
I've always just wanted to see her, thrive and do well and be happy, because I know she was living a nightmare. And I just was there to support her. That's what kind of gave me peace with it when I sat down in that chair. It was just about, damn, I don't want to do this, to being like, oh man, I gotta hold homegirl down and look out for her.
Cassie dated Cudi in 2011 while she was on and off with Combs, and Cudi testified that he believes Combs allegedly broke into his house and torched his car upon finding out about the day and night artist's relationship with Cassie, which Cudi said ended shortly afterward. Combs has denied any involvement in the incident and was acquitted of trafficking and racketeering charges in the trial. He remains behind bars while awaiting sentencing on his conviction for transportation to engage in. Cudi shared on Call Her Daddy that despite having made peace with that time in his life, it felt undeniably surreal back then.
It was crazy, man. In the moment, it was just crazy. I had a hard time understanding if it was reality. I was like, am I in a movie? What the is going on? But it was just chaotic and intense. I wasn't I was already out of my mind dealing with my own personal. So I was really just I just was willing to walk into the fire, and so it's just I always thought about it before all this stuff happened and it came out again. I just over the years I just thought about it as just some wild that happened in my rock and roll life. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy shit happened.
His recent trial was one of the most closely watched celebrity court cases in years. The charges alone were enough to shake the entertainment industry. By the time the jury gave their verdict, Diddy was no longer the untouchable figure he had spent decades building himself up to be. 2 guilty verdicts were handed down against him. 3 other charges, including the most serious one, resulted in acquittals. Some saw this as a partial victory for the defense, but the shadow of those guilty verdicts loomed large. Now, just when Diddy might have been hoping to regroup before his sentencing, Ally Carter has stepped forward with what she claims is new evidence. This is not just a ripple in the water. It is a wave that could grow into a full storm.
So when I got out, I was just out, and I was on a whole other level of. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because I knew there was nothing I could do. It didn't matter because I knew this would happen. If I ever tried to tell, I knew nobody would hear me. Just the same way nobody tried to hear me when I was a child. The same way the authorities and the adults that were supposed to protect me, they did not. They were protected by the predators. My mom has been fighting for me for a very long time. I met her when I was 14, 15. She didn't get to adopt me until I was 19 because at the time nobody wanted me, but nobody could have me. If you've counted the cost, and some people are like, what does that mean? You don't need your money, but your presence is powerful. If we're in your area and you can caravan with us, if you need to get to one spot to another, if you can stand and be a witness. There's angels that have, we sleep in our car and live in our car, but there's angels that have followed us to a gas station and we told them we're sleeping right here, so they've slept in their car right next to us because all hell was breaking loose. But if you've counted the cost, you know that what's meant for me will probably come at you. This is a historical evil. This is decades worth of evil. So nobody is going to take this lightly. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that this is the hill that we die on. There are some people who are really upset by us saying what we are about to say. There are some people that are really upset that if this arrest goes through, with the females I'm thinking it's supposed to go through with, some people really love Eleanor Oprah. Whoopi herself. Torture is not a joke. Somebody has the remote to somebody else's brain. Somebody is threatening that they're going to drop me where I stand on Halloween night because you're conjuring spells and doing satanic rituals so big that it's helping the spirits. You know when they say they release the spirits over the city and the spirits are roaming and they're joking about Halloween. That is not a joke. That is not a joke at all. They are conjuring the hell out of demons. Some people are into witchcraft. I know there's some people that are into witchcraft on here. We talked about this. We don't do that. We don't play with that stuff. But we appreciate that you're sitting here and you're doing something for the children. You're trying to listen for the children. You got enough, as you can see. But that is not a joke. It's not a joke at all. When you understand how spirits work, it's not a joke. CERN works, it's not a joke. So the amount of rituals and things that they are conjuring in your face, you already know that because when you go to the bookstore, you see satanic books. When you go to church, you understand because what do you think you go to church for? If you go to church, what do you think you go to church for? What do you think those stories in your Bible are for? Do you think that they didn't exist before? Do you think that they don't exist now? That is your war manual to exactly what is happening right now.
The trial ended with a complicated outcome. The jury convicted Diddy on 2 counts related to transporting women across state lines for unlawful purposes. Those counts alone could result in a sentence of up to 20 years in prison if the judge decides to impose the maximum penalty. The bigger shock for some was his acquittal on the racketeering conspiracy charge. Prosecutors had painted a picture of Diddy as the leader of a coordinated network, using his employees and associates to help arrange events that several witnesses described in disturbing detail. But the defense managed to create enough doubt. Without concrete proof that his staff knowingly participated, the jury could not convict on that charge. That acquittal was a win for his lawyers, but it did not erase the fact that the jury found him guilty on 2 other serious counts. And now, with Ally Carter stepping in, even that limited legal victory might lose its shine.
So, in July of 2020, you came out on Instagram, you couldn't bottle it up anymore. You made claims about Barack Obama and Joe Biden that shocked the world. How did it get there? Take us through your story.
Well, you know, as young as I remember, I've been trafficked through many elite places. I went from the Buckingham Palace to under the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, still under the custody of Child Protective Services, the child welfare system. It went from trap houses in your everyday neighborhood of Moreno Valley, California, and Los Angeles County, strip clubs, and into Hollywood elite parties. There was never a time of peace in my life. And I remember very clearly since 4 years old, there was never a time of peace in my life. It's been ongoing.
Who started all of this? I mean, your mother originally. And then
Yes.
who carried on? How did you end up in Buckingham Palace and underneath the Getty Museum and alongside some of these household names that I just mentioned?
When I was a child, there was many things that went on in the home. I tried to talk. I tried to let people know. Child Protective Services were called constantly since I was 3 months old. By the time I turned 13, I had enough of being and beaten and tortured behind rocks on La Salle in Moreno Valley, California. I had enough of going through dealing with my mother's boyfriend. She was nothing of a mother. But I had enough of dealing with them at 4 o'clock in the morning. I had enough of being the favorite out of the girls. And I couldn't take anymore, so I tried to kill myself. When I turned 13, CPS came into the picture. I was put into mental hospitals. And then finally, I was put into foster care. I thought things would be over from there. I thought it would be fine. And then after all of that, I started thinking that I was talking to someone online, but everybody knew me before I knew them. I was trafficked by a pimp who claimed to be 27 years old, and he was not. I found many passports, many different birth dates for him in his wallet. And when I told CPS this, they put him down as a 27-year-old boyfriend, and he was a 27-year-old trafficker that was going in and out of my homes, paying off my foster parents, and taking me to Hollywood elite parties over and out of the country, which is, you would think, would be where the FBI would have stepped in. I was letting my social workers know, and they told me to stay quiet. They told me that if I told anybody else, that I would be shipped off to Arizona and no one would ever find me again. So, you know, at one point, you learn that you have to deal with what you have to deal with when the people in authority are not there to help you. And everybody is so worried about the elite, and we could give those names of Barack Obama, Joe Biden. We know about Michelle Obama, that's a man. We know about Too Short. We know about Akon and Steven Tyler, and we can give those names all day. And everybody is so worried about that, but what you should be worried about is the people that are in between, the people that go as low as your grave diggers. I was trafficked to people within my schools. I was trafficked in underground tunnels that link under your schools, through your cemeteries, under your amusement parks, through Universal Studios, and into Hollywood elite homes, all over the place, all over the world.
Allie Carter has been a name circulating in conversations about Diddy for months, if not longer. She has spoken publicly about what she claims to have seen and experienced, and she has never wavered from her account. That consistency is important. In cases like this, public perception matters, and a voice that has not changed its story tends to be taken more seriously, at least by those who are already inclined to believe it. She is not just another celebrity gossip figure. She has framed her actions as part of a bigger mission to reveal truths that she says the public deserves to know. According to her, what came out during the trial was only a fraction of the real story. She claims there are documents, recordings, and communications that never made it into the courtroom. And now, she is suggesting that she's ready to share them. According to reports, the new evidence Allie Carter refers to could include private messages, emails, and even short video clips. If any of it can be verified, the implications could be serious. While the trial has ended, The law allows for fresh investigations when new material surfaces.
I know that there's a lot of stuff happening with the Diddy coming up situation, and everybody's asking us our opinion, and just now noticing that the justice system and they're sending us messages like, "Hey, I didn't know this, and I'm devastated, and I don't know what to say." And I was wondering where you guys are, what place you guys are in, and just don't understand who people thought we were talking to this entire time. We weren't just yelling at our phones, and we've been through all of this, so we know that. So, yeah, I know there's another shoe that's about to drop very soon. So, waiting on that one before we say anything else, because I know it's coming. I don't know, again, I don't know who people thought we were yelling at. The justice is rigged. There's double side to so much. We are about to be in contact with yet another 2 police departments in regards to some stuff going on. We know how it goes, but we have to get in contact with them. So, we do make our paper trails. We have reached out. We have done the things that we can do, but there's only so much that we